What's up, Guru Nation? Let's demystify clinical research.
Guru Nation, welcome back. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share. It really means a lot to me. Look, today I've been saving this one. It's not back to the fundamentals, but in many ways it is. It's back to the fundamentals for career seekers. And I'm going to walk you through whatever your career level is, your background: medical assistant, CNA, phlebotomist, high school dropout, high school graduate, college dropout, college graduate, and on up till MD, PhD, international medical graduate. Look, the trajectory is very simple. This doesn't have to be a long video either. The best way to get started in research is literally any job you can get at the research clinic level. Now, if you're lucky, and if you're on the higher end of this educational spectrum, meaning if you are a provider, like a nurse practitioner, a physician's assistant, one of the best things you can do is actually treat patients in the community. So whether you work for yourself or you just open up a very boutique private practice or whatever the case may be, the research clinics in your area will find you. If you put yourself in a area where there's a lot of research sites, you will get approached. Today at Yuma Clinical Trials, I went out in the community with my sub-investigator, Jaime Valles, and business partner looking for referring sites. Guess who we ran into? A nurse practitioner with a private practice of her own. Guess what our pitch was? Hey, we do clinical trials. Let's start you off slowly. You refer for us. She immediately got interested in research as a career option for herself as an adjunct to her private practice. Now, if you're watching this, chances are you're not lucky. No one's reached out to you, or you're not a nurse practitioner or an MD. So you're someone else on this spectrum. The next best thing you can do is go find these people who are supposed to find you. So let's say you're a phlebotomist and you're tired of doing phlebotomy, or you just want something different. You want a career change and you want clinical research, or you're a medical assistant, or you're a CNA or a farm tech. You go to research clinics in your community. The smaller, the better. Don't go to the big academic medical centers. We can save the academic medical centers for later on in this career background educational, like the PhDs. But even then, I still think the small sites are best because the smaller sites offer the quickest trajectory for upward mobility you can find. If you go to a larger academic center or just a larger site in general, it's a slower climb. Everything's more streamlined. At the smaller sites, there's more chaos. That chaos is your friend. Now, don't worry about, the pay is really low. I can't accept that, or I don't like that job title. It doesn't matter. If you're at a small research site, the pay increases quickly and the job titles increase quickly as well. So forget about what the job title is or the pay is. It does not matter. If it's the small enough clinic and if it's the right clinic, they will nurture you and develop your career. And even if they won't, you have the experience at that point, so who cares? So you're going to go to the small research site and you're going to approach them with whatever your strengths are. So this is where you have freedom within this video, the instructions in this video, because not everybody has the same skill set and not everyone is able to offer something in the clinics, but everyone is able to offer something in the clinics. Now, you also have to lower your expectations. So just the fact that you walk into a clinic and say, hey, I want to work in research so bad, I'm willing to do anything you need. This is my skill set. I'm a phlebotomist. I can draw blood for you. I can process labs for you. I already got IATA certified. I already got GCP certified, which, by the way, anybody watching this video can do for free. The links are underneath. Good clinical practice certification is free. You can get it underneath this video. IATA, shipping hazardous goods. If you're going to approach the site from the level of a research assistant or anything to do with labs, you need to get that. That's for shipping biological substances. Free. Both of those free. If you already approach them with these things in hand and say, I already got myself GCP certified. I already got myself IATA certified. I'm ready to go. Or you can approach from the perspective of patient recruitment. Hey, I can recruit patients for you. I notice you guys don't have an Instagram channel. I notice you don't have a TikTok. I notice you don't have a Facebook. I can create and manage these channels for you. And in exchange, you guys pay me whatever you think is fair. If you want, I can just volunteer. But in exchange, I want some research experience on my resume. So I'd love to shadow your coordinators and learn the process so I can help you out better. Research sites, the industry is booming right now at the research site level. It may not be at all the stakeholder levels like CROs, sponsors. Some of the small biotechs are having issues right now with financing in the financial markets. But at the small site levels, in 2023, it's July 2023 right now, we have so much pent up demand as far as study supplies is concerned that there's just a lot of work that needs to be done. I know for myself at Yuma Clinical Trials, we have tons of work that needs to be done. But here's my next point. Not every site owner is going to say yes. You need to approach 10 different site owners in your community. And one of them you should expect to give you a chance. You also shouldn't do something crazy like move to Yuma because you watch my video and think that I'm going to take you on. No, that's not. I do not want the added pressure of somebody moving across the country just to intern for my startup. If you're already in Yuma, perfect. It's less pressure for me. So sometimes you got to think about the business owner's side of things. So those are some strategies right there. Start at the small site level, approach with something to offer, have GCP certification in hand, have IATA certification in hand if you're going to do anything lab related. Take any job, help them out with patient recruitment if need be, help them out with their website, whatever your skill set is. If it's talking to community clinicians like I did today, go out in the community and talk to clinicians for them on their behalf. Tell them you'll do it for free. In exchange, you just want to volunteer. Or tell them they pay you whatever they think is fair. And you just want experience on your resume. Within 3 months, within 6 months, that's all it's going to take for you to start building up your experience. My coordinators at my site all started with no experience, but I approached all of them. Well, except for one. One coordinator did find us on LinkedIn, but happened to have already been living in Yuma at the time. And she had a lab background. So she was very experienced drawing blood as a phlebotomist and very experienced processing lab samples. So everyone has something different to offer. That should be what you're considering if you're approaching sites. Now, if you have higher education, that's a plus for sites too. But that's also could potentially throw some sites off. So higher education generally in a business owner's mind means, well, I'm going to have to pay this person more. So you got to go in there and tell them, hey, I just graduated college. I have a bachelor's degree. I want to be a coordinator. I'm willing to work from the ground up. If you want me to do some data entry, you want me to do recruitment, I already have my GCP, all this stuff. You approach them from that angle. But bachelor's degree or higher opens you up to other possibilities besides small research sites. It opens you up to CRO world. Now, I said 1 out of 10 sites are going to give you a chance. In the CRO world, there's only like 5 big CROs and then like a long tail of a couple dozen or so smaller CROs. There are different people within those organizations you got to touch, sometimes from the same organization, different therapeutic areas. They're usually separated, not by company, but by therapeutic area. So in those cases, you're just going to have to hit up a bunch of people on LinkedIn, look for some entry-level roles like study startup specialist, trial master file assistant, clinical trial assistant. One job title is not consistent among different companies either. So what a clinical trial assistant is at one CRO, it might mean an in-house CRA at another CRO. and they might be doing the same things that a study startup specialist does at a third CRO. So forget about the job titles. Just look at the job description, and you have to have a solid understanding of those things. And this is where our CRA Academy comes in and our CRC Academy comes in. Links to both of these underneath the video below. I'm not trying to sell it, but we created programs that I wish I had when I was looking to get a job in the industry, because they offer real industry experience that you can then leverage into job interviews, which we help with as well. But you should be networking. No matter where you are on the spectrum, you need to be networking. It's not what you know, it's who you know. And that really is true at the beginning. And you need to just figure out ways to get introduced to more people, to talk to more people about clinical research. That is the way to go about doing it. Now, if you're at the higher end, PhD, international medical graduate, there are different options for you. International medical graduate, you should still consider the small site level. You can get to the small site if they do psychiatry trials. It's even better because you can jump in as a sub-investigator and be a psychometric rater. There's a lot of CNS studies out there, central nervous system studies out there. If you have that background as an international medical graduate, you can do. Sites are looking for PhDs, advanced degree holders. Yes, international medical graduate counts to be doing psychometric rating assessments. One of our patients here at Yuma Clinical Trials happened to be a PhD. And I asked her just on a whim, hey, would you consider being a sub-investigator and doing rating assessments for us? She was thrilled. So if you are a PhD or an international medical graduate, you can find, in addition to the good clinical practice I mentioned, free rating scales to get certified with online. The Columbia Severity Suicide Rating Scale comes to mind, CSSRS. Just Google it. You could find it. Just put CSSRS free training. You can get that certification. Chances are you're probably doing a lot of these, either in your former country in the case of an international medical graduate, or in the case of a PhD. This is where you might want to look at academic medical centers as well. And this is where, if you're a practicing nurse practitioner or a physician's assistant or even an MD, and you have a private practice or you work for someone in a private practice, you're already doing things like PHQ-9s and things like that. So this video, there's no real roadmap, but there's common themes. Get the GCP, let the site or CRO or sponsor. In the case of a PhD, you can try out sponsors as well. Let them know that you already have a base understanding of research and you'd like to work your way up. I still think the smaller the site, the better, because you're going to be given way more responsibilities in a way shorter period of time than anywhere else. Now, if you're an international medical graduate or a PhD, international medical graduate can actually be medical monitors with enough experience. You can go the CRC route, clinical research coordinator route at a small site. Then you can maybe go CRA route, or you can jump straight to medical monitor. It's been done before, so why can't it be done with you? Just the right amount of networking. Everybody should go to the local SOCRA and ACRP meetups in their area and just talk to more people about clinical research. On the PhD side, you can get into other things like medical writing, where you start writing protocols, you start writing materials, patient-facing, industry-facing materials. You should be looking on things like PubMed for peer-reviewed journals. You should be interacting with these kind of people on LinkedIn. So I'll end this video. I know there was a lot of advice. Hopefully one of these things resonates with you and you implement one of these things. A realtor told me once, if you want to sell more real estate, you got to talk to more people about real estate. So the rule for you is, if you want to get into clinical research and you want more clinical research opportunities for yourself as a career, talk to more people about clinical research. Good things happen. It's never been easier to do this. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Bye-bye.